Hey, yeah.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
What's going on, man?
Good.
Welcome to the first
Chilling, man.
episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I'm very excited. I've been talking about this and thinking about it for just about a year now. So I'm really happy that you guys can hop on, even though I'm not fully ready, but who's ever ready? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Gotta dive in
Gotta
sometime.
get in.
Yeah,
That's right.
straight up. So I'm going to be the host of Talk Smack with Mac. My name is Levi, but I go by Mac. And basically, the podcast is going to just be about me talking with friends, man. I feel like conversation is dead. So I want to hop on and have a good conversation. Sometimes I might have some episodes by myself, to talk about specific subjects that I feel like I need to get off my chest a little bit. But other than that, I want to get my boys together, man, have a conversation about sports or whatever we're feeling like. It's my podcast, so I'm going to talk about whatever I'm feeling like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel that.
So, like I told y'all before we started recording, I got my brother Travis on the outside. He's going to be chiming in. I want to talk about UFC. Y'all love UFC. I love UFC. It's a growing,
Exciting times.
Yeah, growing sport. Man.
Yeah.
How you
Good.
UFC 251 and the card that's coming fast. Usman is fighting Burns. Burns is fighting back-to-back. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a nut. But I mean, he didn't take damage in that fight. So it's like, I feel it. You gotta ride that wave. It might work to his advantage, honestly, because he in shape. He never lost his shape, and he just goes straight into that next one.
You talking about Burns?
Yeah, Burns. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the dude got hands too. Like, realistically, if you just watching it as a boxer alone, he got hands. He's taking every shot he can take. So I'm with him on it.
But that's a great. But Usman's hands look like a whole different. It's like somebody gave him a whole nother set of hands in the last fight. Like it like when he fought Covington, I thought Covington was gonna come and dominate him from the hands. Not dominate him, but I thought Covington had the edge from the hands and he didn't. And I was like, yo, what? Like I never seen Usman fight from the hands like that. But then again, he never had to. So
yeah,
maybe
Covington, it was nice because
yeah.
a lot of people hate Covington, man. He has that persona that.
Hey, listen, I love dude. His whole persona is aggravating, but how can you not love dude, bro? Like you have to love him, bro. Like
hands, bro.
Yeah.
Man, he needs to be out here just to talk smack with you.
And he say the most hilarious stuff, bro. The snoozman, the whole thing, the whole press. He killed that. Like he talks so much smack to Usman, bro. Like he was talking to Usman like he was unranked. Like I love dude.
As far as promotion, you want him,
bro. I love dude. He hilarious.
I mean, and he actually in there fighting too. But as far as promotion,
bro, listen. Everybody got it twisted because of what happened in that last fight. Like, the dude is. I still feel like he probably at least top 3 in that weight division. I don't know. I feel like Usman just had a lot more tools in the shed than he had, but I feel like anybody else in that division can get it from him.
Man,
and that's including Conor McGregor.
Straight up.
And that's including Conor McGregor.
All broken in the 3rd round. And was forward throwing his hands.
Banging the whole time.
Still doing
ass balls for that.
Yo, he built different, bro. Like,
man.
You got to kill him to win.
Yeah. How y'all feeling about the Holloway fight?
All right, I'm torn because I'm a city kickboxing fan.
Yeah.
So I'm torn, but Max is like before Izzy, Max Holloway was my dude. And like to see him take them L's like he took, I want him to come back so bad. It's just so whack that it gotta be against Volkanovski because I'm like,
hey, Max Holloway, you gotta be a fan of him. We were all out in Hawaii, so we all gotta have some type of love for Max Holloway. And
I'm biased. I'm biased. Max
so like my best friend that put me on to MMA. Like when I was in submarine school, me and my best friend, we hated it. So we used to watch Scrubs and spar bare knuckles, knees, elbows, everything. And he the one that put me on to UFC. That's whenever like BJ Penn was doing this thing and all that. And so like I always been drawn to Hawaiian fighters because my friend who put me on to UFC is a Hawaiian fighter. So like I always, any Hawaiian fighter that come out, I'm always drawn to him. And so whenever they once Holloway became who he was, I was attached to him. But at the same time, Izzy is my favorite fighter, and like Eugene is my favorite trainer, and it's just I don't know. I don't even know who to pick. I think I'm gonna just watch.
Yeah, hey, that's why we're fans. That's the beauty of it. We get to just sit back and watch him. Sometimes whatever happens. We just want to see.
Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy matchup though. That's a tough one for if Max could make that happen, man. That would be real impressive.
To me, usually Max he dictates the fight. So if he's not dictating it early on,
that's what happened in his last two fights. That's what happened in
Yeah.
his last two fights. He didn't dictate it at all.
Yeah.
because usually Max just leading the way. So the fight goes his way. But you got somebody like a Ferguson who can match him in speed, it starts to mess it up because both of them, they both go off like, I'm going to tag you way more than you tag me. Eventually, you're not going to like it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it just went down. It just didn't go down in his favor that time. But I'm still a Max fan. Max gonna get that shit too. I'm calling it now.
Hey man, I ain't saying nothing, bro. I'm staying. Hey, you know me. I love to pick a side. I cannot pick a side on this one, bro. Like, I can't do it.
Hey man, I can't wait. It's only a few more weeks away. But Wally, bro, I remember you hit me up. You was talking about the McGregor retirement, quote unquote.
Oh yeah.
Man, how you feeling about that?
I mean, what is this? Retire number 4 in the past year?
I can't keep count anymore.
Bro, what's going on with the UFC? Why is the UFC at the best place it could possibly be at? And all the top people tripping, like.
I mean, as far as everything I heard is money.
Yeah.
But my thing is, so Conor McGregor seemed like his issue isn't money. It seems like his issue is the fight that he wants, which is the Khabib fight.
Yeah, he wants Khabib.
Do y'all think that Conor should be able to still choose who he gets to fight because he is pretty much the cash cow, him and John Jones? But do you think he could choose?
Why not?
In a way, but to me, for him to try to say that he deserved that shot more than Gaethje, I can't agree with that. Especially when he was offered the same opportunity that Gaethje was offered. That's the part that's whenever it got interesting. Because at first I was like, all right, I could kind of feel him. But then whenever Dana came out and said, hey, we offered him to be the replacement fight if anything happened with Khabib and Gaethje. And if he would have went in and did what Gaethje did, then he would be up to fight Khabib right now. But he didn't because he said he's not a replacement fighter. So, I mean, you kind of let your ego get in the way of that. So you can't get mad.
As far as anybody who's not really a fan and is sitting there watching that whole division, everything go down, who do they know? They don't know Khabib like that, and he's the champion. They know Conor. Conor brings the sales.
That's a fact. But it's so many other interesting fights that you could make with Conor. It's so much interest, like so many. Everybody want a piece.
Definitely, I wanted to see McGregor Masvidal.
Masvidal, yes, please.
Yeah. I want that fight so bad.
I think he'll beat Masvidal, but I want to see that.
I don't know.
Hey man, listen. This is my thing with Masvidal. I think with Masvidal is a lot of recency bias, man. Like he did a lot of great things lately.
He got a lot of hype very quickly.
Like he's a good fighter, but I think people overhyping how good of a fighter he is. Like Conor McGregor is a whole different level to me. But who knows? Maybe he could prove me wrong if they ever fight.
But he deserves it.
On the flip side, I think Usman would beat McGregor.
Oh, I think so too. Usman is way too big, in my opinion.
That's what and skilled, and he's just as skilled.
That division, yeah.
He's not just as skilled like striking, but he's not that much worse than him striking to where it'll be a big deal. And on the ground, we already know who got the advantage on the ground. So I don't know. Yeah. You seeing what he did to my guy to get the belt? Why can't I even come up with his name? Ever since he lost the other day, I forgot his name.
Really?
Woodley, yeah,
Tyron.
Tyron Woodley.
Oh man.
Yeah, you see how he manhandled him to get the belt? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't see Conor McGregor stopping something like that. I don't know. But both of those fights are interesting. Another Nate Diaz fight. Who won't sign up for another Conor Nate Diaz fight?
I would love that. Too.
Come on, man. Like give us something, man.
Or
Like,
even
it's fights out there.
too. That
I'll take that. I'll take that again, because that fight didn't get to be what it was supposed to be.
the fight of the year. That had all the makings for fight of the year. That damn cut, man, on Diaz's eye. I would love to see that. Have them run that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since Diaz gets better as the fight goes on too.
He was getting in his groove. He was getting in his
It started until he starts bleeding a little bit.
right.
Yeah, so I want to see that. Something else I'm very excited about: Stipe and DC, the trilogy.
So hold up. First of all, I'm from Lafayette, so you know what I mean. I'm biased when it comes to DC, so ain't gonna be no DC slander. You know what I mean? I just want to let that be known now. But man, he beat dude last fight, man. I literally almost, I think I might have cried actually. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I was close to it. I remember where I was at. I was so sad.
Man.
Out of nowhere, like he whooped him up the whole fight and just let his guard down.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
But
to me, it shows when Stipe actually pays attention and he actually goes train instead of doing all this extracurricular activity, because he's known as a fighter. Nobody see him do no firefighting stuff. So we looking at it like if he actually gets into it, you know, he could possibly beat somebody like a DC again. But as far as it goes, if DC won it, bro, he gets you on the floor, it's over. Like,
so this is
taking him as a knockout. Nah,
so
that
this
ain't gonna happen.
to me, the storyline from that nobody's talking about is, do any one of these dudes want to fight Ngannou?
That's what I was gonna say. So
That's a real question.
Against Ngannou. So check this out. During Ngannou's last fight, when he got the knockout, right?
Huh?
Cormier was like, "Hey," he was joking around. You know, I'll fight Stipe.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go against.
He was like, I don't.
Yeah,
Nobody
like, hey, he can hit anybody. Just don't let it be me.
Bruh.
Nobody wants to get hit by him right now.
Because both of them are better fighters than him, but if he it's like Deontay Wilder. It's like Deontay Wilder. If you get touched, it's over.
Yeah.
And if he touch you with that uppercut, you might not wake up.
Is
that
John
uppercut
Jones
hammerfish? Man, John Jones don't want that fight. He's just internet talking, man. Come on, bro. John Jones don't want that fight, bro. John Jones going to sleep. John Jones let people hit him too much. To he can't let Ngannou hit him.
But you think he won't be elusive enough to make Ngannou?
I mean, yeah, I guess he could fight differently, but you know, John Jones gets hit. You know, this is part of his style. He could take punches. I don't know if he could take those punches.
I don't know if he could gain enough weight to be able to keep up with him.
He seemed convinced. I mean,
don't get me wrong, he's the GOAT, so I'm not gonna ever come out. But damn.
I would love to see that too. There's a lot of fights. There's too many fights that can happen right now, and I think that's the issue. I feel like that's the issue with the UFC is now it's too many storylines, too many money fights. Like usually it's one or two money fights and then everything else just good fights. But now we just literally threw around like 6 or 7 big money fights.
Yeah, but you know what? That's their problem.
With major implications because there's a lot of titles being thrown around in those conversations.
Yep.
That's true. Well, I got a question for y'all. Who do you throw next at Amanda Nunes? You just tell us Captain Marvel.
Somebody talk. Shevchenko got to come back and get hers again. Like, it's nobody else. It's nobody else.
Shevchenko was her best fight.
Looking forward to with Amanda Nunes against Shevchenko.
That's the only thing.
But they did that already, though, too.
I mean, there's nothing else even remotely close to her level.
Which is crazy. Like, where do you go? Where do you go from there, really? Like, as far as Amanda Nunes, you just
it's kind of a messed up place to be, man. It's kind of a weird place for her because it's hard to find that motivation, I guess. You know, I would imagine. I feel like if you just like, she basically sparred the other night for her championship belt, and that was crazy to me. Like,
for real though,
I could not believe it.
Right?
Say that again. Crazy. No,
she was like number 3, I think.
She was 3?
Something like that. Was she 3? I think she was 3.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Didn't look like it.
She's not ranked, I get it, but she's 3 and she's.
There's no way a non-ranked person gets a fight with the champ, especially Nunes. Like,
Yeah.
but she made it look like that. That's literally how she made it look. And I watched that fight the whole time, and I'm like, man, I promise you, she had harder sparring days. I promise you, she did.
What's crazy? You can see Nunes counting in her head. She's sitting there like, I made her with a 1-2.
Did you see what she said at the end? Did you see what she said at the end? She said she could have ended it early, but she wanted to prove to everybody she could go 5 rounds.
Yeah, she go 5 rounds.
What?
Man, she sounded like Will Chamberlain when he was talking
What?
about his ass.
What?
Yeah.
They gonna have to build somebody for her, man. The same people that built Russell Westbrook, they gonna have to build somebody to be her. Cause I don't know. Like, I don't know what's gonna take. I mean, maybe it's that same effect that we had when Ronda Rousey first came in, you know, and like the talent wasn't up. She was like the only, you know, and then all of a sudden she was obsolete. So maybe I feel like in every sport is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at Michael Jordan, and then like the era after him, the talent level that came with that, because everybody was watching him. And then now LeBron James, you have all these big people doing so much, and it's just like so I feel like the same effect might happen with Amanda Nunes, and it'll catch up to her. But
but at this point,
next year, I don't see nobody, bro.
I see a few boxers probably go toe-to-toe with her. That's about it. But that means they got to learn all that groundwork.
A lot of other stuff. Yeah, because she's a – that's the thing that people forget, because she beat people up so bad. She got a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like,
and black belt in jiu-jitsu and a black belt in something else, too. She's not a slouch. Like, that lady can kick kick our asses.
Oh yeah, I had an argument with one of my best friends about that. He was saying how like UFC is a joke and he'll beat them up. I'm like, bro, I was watching the Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Weili Zhang. I'm like, either one of them will beat you up, bro. Like, I promise you.
Oh yeah.
But in fact, they'll beat both of us up. How about that? Like, I promise you. Like,
right.
Come on, man.
Chang was throwing too. Chang was throwing, so I'd be like, I take the L. We ain't even gotta fight.
I'm like, bro, like, you're crazy. I'm like, I made him come to my house and watch a whole fight night. I don't remember what fight night. It was unfortunately it was Izzy versus what's my guy? I can't even Cube, yeah, Yoel Muro. So unfortunately it was that fight. But he's seen all the other fights before that, and he was just convinced that they can't fight. I'm like, bro, you crazy. Like, what? Like, these women are different, bro. These women are different.
Another episode on the 11th, right before the fight card, and running backs, tell our thoughts and opinions and all that good stuff.
Bet.
All right. I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to cut it out right here. I appreciate it. This is the first episode, man. I think it was dope. I'm excited, man. You guys could jump on whenever. It's a lot better than talking to myself.
Hey, just let me know. I'm always down to talk about MMA, basketball. I'll talk about something I don't know about. Let's get it.
Yeah, see me talk about NHL players.
Let's get it.
Hey,
I don't know nothing about that.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna catch y'all soon.
All right, man.
I'll be easy.